I know these people have been waiting long enough. I really appreciate the patience. Please like and subscribe. Hey, TD can say it best. What is this, TD? What kind of content is this?
This is cutting edge content.
Yes, sir. All right, you're on the clock, TD. What do you got for us? Who are you going to take at the 103? We got Marvin Harrison, who went 101. Caleb Williams went with the second pick. And TD's on the clock. Let's see where he goes. Ooh! Uh-oh! Xavier Worthy at the 103. He gets the Chiefs bump. Man, I get nervous with these Chiefs landing spots, man. Every time people get overdrafted to the Chiefs, but the fastest player ever in the NFL, it's hard to argue, man. And you already know Patrick Mahomes probably was in the coaching staff's ear saying, hey, give me this guy. I need another Tyreek.
Right. And you know they're going to – Andy Reid, the way he draw up plays?
Yeah, man. Okay. Wow. So I wasn't ready for that. IMKC with a steal, to my opinion. All right. So I think I'm going to go Brock Bowers here. Went 10th to the Jet. Aaron Rodgers needs someone to protect them, but also another pass catching weapons in addition to that Mike Williams signing. So that can complete the offense, give them kind of a win now piece. And let me do some announcing. After you took Xavier Worthy, it was Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, Roma Dunze, Drake May, Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr., J.J. McCarthy, Adonai Mitchell, Troy Franklin at the 112. And then in the second round, we got Jonathan Brooks at the 201. And now Nifty is on the clock. Let's see what you got for us, Nifty. Man. I didn't think I was getting Bowers at the 108, but whew, I can't hate it. I can't hate some of these picks. Okay, Xavier Leggett at the 2-2, and I'm gonna try to make sure y'all can see these picks on the right side. Yeah, you can see them. Okay, make sure I'm not in the way. Okay, so you went with Brendan Rice.
Yes.
All right, he went to the Cardinals.
They need a wide receiver.
They do. They took Roma Dunze. So what about what is it? Michael Wilson? Is that their other receiver?
Right.
He's a big body. You know, Brendan Rice is a big body too. Roma Dunze, Michael Wilson. This might be with Brendan Rice. This might be the tallest team in the league because Brendan Rice is like 6'3".
Right.
Let me make sure I get my pick in. Coleman to the Texans. I don't think I can pass on Bo Nix. No. Dang, Bo Nix to the Broncos with the 12th pick. I just got to take him there. Dang. Ooh, Team 9 gives another weapon for CJ Stroud. I like it. So let me announce these real quick. After you took Brendan Rice, it was Mike Penix Jr., Matt McConkey, Blake Corum, Trey Benson, Bo Nix, Keon Coleman, Roman Wilson, Braylon Allen, Jatavian Sanders. And now we're back in the third round. RG has got us with Audric Estime, the successor to Christian McCaffrey, he hopes. Nifty takes Marshawn Lloyd, who went 82nd to the Colts. I mean, I know they signed Jonathan Taylor, but that's some decent draft capital. Nothing to sneeze at. And maybe they're trying to keep Taylor healthy. All right, TD's on the clock. Let's see what he's got for us. Okay. Joe Milton may enter the league with the strongest arm besides Josh Allen. This guy, have you seen those videos of Joe Milton throwing just like anywhere really? Like this guy has a crazy arm.
Right. But you know that I thought the same thing about Josh Allen, and he ended up being a really good quarterback in the league. I thought he was just a strong arm guy, like just throwing it deep. But these guys with good coaching, they can actually play. Look at Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. I didn't love Joe Milton at the Senior Bowl. I felt like the accuracy was off, but with some NFL coaching,
Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, that was the thing. People say you couldn't teach the accuracy. All right, I'm on the clock here.
Right.
Oh man. Let's see. Oh man, I'm gonna go Ricky Pearsall to the Falcons. All right, so after you took Milton, it went Jalen Polk, Bucky Irving, Devontae Walker, Jalen Wright. I took Ricky Pearsall. Then goes Will Shipley, Javon Baker, Malachi Corley, Ray Davis to end the third round. Then we start the next round with Luke McCaffrey, who's on the Niners, and not as a running back, but as a wide receiver. So maybe he can get on the field. We'll see.
All my
All
guys
right.
are getting stole, man. I wanted Marvin Harrison, then Shipley's gone. It's tough, man. It's tough. Let me see here.
Jalen McMillan's one of my guys too. I just think in this draft, I don't think he went in the top 4 rounds. Let me see. No, I don't see him. Let me know if I'm missing them, guys. All right, so we went Frank Gore Jr. All right, I heard TD on his live the other day say Frank Gore Jr. could be the number 1 running back in this class. Do you stand on that?
No, I didn't. Did I say Frank Gore Jr.? I don't think I said
my
Frank Gore
bad.
Jr.
Okay.
No, I said Benson. It was Benson was my number 1 guy. And my number 2 guy.
I think it was more like you would like, hey, he could do something if he get opportunity type of thing.
Yes, yeah.
With
I
Frank
said
Gore.
he got the name, so he's gonna get an opportunity. But running backs, man, I try to draft as many as I can. Who knows who gonna hit? If you go, it depends on your location and what's going on with your team. If somebody go down, like look at what was it, Robinson about a couple years ago with the Jaguars. Like they traded
that 1 year wonder, but it was hot. Yeah.
Right. But now what is it? He's not even in the league now.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay, so I went with Johnny Wilson there, but yeah, I totally agree. Like you can with this class too. Don't be surprised if it makes sense to just get somebody who can start day 1,
right,
and get you this 1 year. Because like I said, the 2025 running back class is stacked. There's going to be guys in this year's class who lose their jobs because it's just this. I already have a video on next year's class and the year after and the one after that, but like that class, you see a lot of green. Okay, so you took Isaac Guerrero. He had a really good combine, great size, and great speed.
He reminds me of Jonathan Taylor. I'm not saying he's Jonathan Taylor, but his body size, pause, and his speed and everything.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. No, don't worry about that. That's a good pick. AJ Barno, he could be all right. Don't worry about the auto pick there.
I'm looking for the guy from Florida State, the wide receiver, the tall guy.
Oh, I got him. He's on my team.
Oh, you got him? Okay.
Yeah, Johnny Wilson.
Okay, good pick.
That's who you're talking about, right?
I got sniped all over.
He went to the Raiders 77. I was like, I'll take that.
I got sniped.
I think the steal of the draft was Ben Sinnott here in the 5th round. Good job, Nifty. You crushed it. He went pick 39 to the Panthers. He's going to get a lot of usage in college. He actually has some average depth of target that was pretty far down the field. I like him a lot. I like him over Cade Stover. I'm gonna go with Jermaine Burton out of Alabama. He was the number 1 wide receiver for Alabama the past 2 seasons. Also had some time, I think, at Georgia. Had some off the field issues. So you just got to see how that affects his draft stock. That's probably why I don't think he was listed here. But yeah, that's the draft. Let's go ahead and break this down. We can rank these teams. Let's see. So let's start with the first pick. We've got RG. He goes Marvin Harrison, Jonathan Brooks, Audric Estime, Luke McCaffrey, Cade Stover. So he's got at least a core wide receiver that I've got in the S tier, and Cade Stover should be decent. Did not get a lot of yards after catch, but it was at Ohio State. He's good. He's sure-handed. He can block. He'll get some opportunity. Jonathan Brooks coming off the ACL. He's not going to be a year 1 guy, but right now everyone views him as the actual best talent at the running back position. And I moved away from this screen. This is the guy who went to the Dallas Cowboys. So everyone's going to be hot on Jonathan Brooks if that happens. The Dallas Cowboys doctors are the ones that performed his ACL surgery repair. So there's that connection already, and I can understand why they went with that in this mock. So I'm going to go through all of these, and then we can give the grades at the end. You want to call out this next one, though?
Yes. You got Williams. You got Leggett, Lord. Now, some of these guys I ain't going to act like I've researched them. I haven't researched them. But Williams, I love him at the 102. I think that's a steal. You would think he would be the 101. This is a super flex, right?
Yep.
So you stole him. I think you have to, even if you got Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, you still have to take him for draft value. Leggett and the rest of the guys, man, I haven't done any research on.
Yeah. Xavier's like a really big body. wide receiver out of South Carolina, and got some good speed behind it. It's almost like a Brian Thomas Jr., but he was a fifth-year breakout and did almost nothing at any point before then. So, he needed Spencer Rattler to get there before he was able to produce. Good size and speed, but when you don't have any production, it's hard to see that translating to the NFL. But people are high on him. I will say that. And in this draft, he went 46, so that's second round to the Colts. He's not going to be a number one with Pittman there. So kind of tough, not a bad pick. And then, Marshawn Lloyd, running back out of USC. So he
I've
actually
seen
had,
him.
he had some of the best like yards per reception type of metrics, but his total receptions was kind of low. So I've done some videos where he didn't really meet the thresholds because his total receptions was low, but when he was getting the ball, he was doing something with it. He was actually getting a lot of yards every time he caught the ball. And Caleb Williams is more of a quarterback that likes to throw the ball. He's not a dump it off type of quarterback. So that's why it makes sense Lloyd didn't get those opportunities, but Lloyd has good speed, size. So I like him. Jalen McMillan was one of the three in the trio at Washington, the national champion contenders. And he was really good. He had good numbers that were comparable to Rome Odunze in his first couple seasons. This last year, he was a little bit banged up, and all three of the receivers there were really good. So it's tough to get a ton of production, but he still was doing it. He looks really good. This is one of my favorite receivers in Jalen McMillan, and I just don't think he went in this draft. So for this draft, unless I'm missing it, it would just be tough to want to rate him too high. But Ben Sinnott with the final pick, that's nice. So good job to Nifty there. A really good job. He went 39 to the Panthers. He's going to get some usage. It's a tight end premium. So there you go. And I'll call out your picks for this one, TD. So you
Right.
got Xavier Worthy, Brendan Rice, Joe Milton, Frank Gore Jr., Isaac Orendo. I think we talked about all of our picks so far, so I want to just skip to the next ones, and then we can do the grades after. Malik Neighbors for Team 4, Michael Penix Jr., Jalen Polk, Isaiah Davis, Bryson Nesbitt. Team 5 took Jaden Daniels, Lad McConkey, Bucky Irving, Spencer Rattler, and Dallin Holker, who had the most fantasy points of any tight end this past season above Brock Bowers. And one of the correlations I've seen for tight end success is any tight end who has in history has, or I'll say the last 10 years, 54 out of the last 60 top 5 tight ends in NFL fantasy, they were either having a 7 RAS score, relative athletic score, or they had a lot of fantasy point production. And Holker meets both of those thresholds. Doesn't mean he's going to be top 5, but you almost don't have the ability from the numbers to be a top 5 tight end if you don't have those. So this guy was leading fantasy points in college. Maybe he doesn't in the NFL or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, but he at least is someone to have on your radar. All right, Team 6. Aaron Biggs goes Rome Odunze, Blake Corum, Devontae Walker out of Carolina, Jacob Cowling, AJ Barner. I like this team. Rome Odunze, that's a great pick. We saw his reception perception all green. Blake Corum, he's a guy that I think fits that win now mold of, hey, if you want a running back that's just going to maybe get you a bunch of touchdowns or just get you something that you can just plug into flex just this year as a rookie, this Blake Corum could be it. Devontae Walker, he's got that 4.3 speed. And here he goes to the Washington Commanders. I forgot your take on Jahan Dotson, but we do believe, I think you said you believe in him. Like statistically, he's actually kind of quietly doing well. Is that what you said, right?
Talking about Walker?
I was saying Jahan Dotson, so Devontae Walker is going to go to Washington Commanders. So he's either replacing Jahan Dotson or he's going behind Jahan Dotson, or he's the potential Terry McLaurin replacement if they don't want to re-sign him.
I think they trade Terry. Right. I think they trade Terry McLaurin. That's what I'm thinking. And they keep Jahan. He's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
And trade Terry while his value is still good, and get Walker to help stretch the field. That's what I believe. I like Walker. I've seen him. I'm from North Carolina, so I saw him. He's a good player.
Oh yeah, no problem on that auto pick. All right, so I like that pick. Okay, we'll go on to the 7th pick. We got Drake May. This I think is the first time I've seen him fall this far. And he goes to the Patriots here. So maybe people are scared of the Patriots landing spot. People were scared of the Texans landing spot last year. That's all I got to say. Trey Benson in the second round, Jalen Wright, 4.38 speed. I mean, both of these. Oh god, you got some of the hardest hitting running backs in this draft.
Right.
Some of the fastest ones that got some size and elusivity. I like that. Malik Washington. I've got a video. I got multiple videos where he's my sleeper. Malik Washington. Give me Malik Washington. I want Malik Washington on my teams. Kamani Vidal, running back here at the end. So just a little stab on a running back. I like that. And then I go with Brock Bowers, Bo Nix, Ricky Pearsall, Johnny Wilson, Jermaine Burton. I already spoke on those, so we'll keep going. Brian Thomas Jr. at the ninth pick. Team
My
9
favorite
continues
wide
on.
receiver.
Yeah, and that's to the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
And so he'll be a number 2. He won't be a number 1, but they could use a number 2.
Right.
And he'll still be able to produce. Dak's been able to support multiple wide receivers, I believe. Keon Coleman to the Texans. So you got 2 receivers going to Texas, and both quarterbacks can probably support them. So, Coleman here, though, Tank Dell's only 1 year removed from a rookie deal. So is this, Coleman has the size of the Nico Collins. I don't think he has the speed of Nico Collins. But is this a Nico Collins, like, we don't want to pay you and Tank Dell type of thing? Is he replacing?
No, they paying Nico.
That's what
believe
I'm hoping. Yeah. Okay. And they got your guy Will Shipley, Jaheim Bell. Jaheim Bell goes to the Texans as well. Okay. And they just did a 3-year deal with Dalton Schultz. So I don't know about that one if it happens in real life. But and then Michael Pratt, that's the sleeper quarterback. We'll see what happens there. And then, okay, Team 10, J.J. McCarthy, Roman Wilson, Javon Baker, Cody Schrader, Eric All. And, you get a first-round quarterback going to the Vikings. You got Justin Jefferson to throw to. Roman Wilson, he goes to the Bears. So, when Keenan Allen's gone, maybe that's when he gets his time to shine. And even DJ Moore, they have to extend him at some point. We'll see what they do with that whole room once they, just make sure that they got their guy at quarterback. Javon Baker, he's been getting a lot of love. I like him too. Trying to see. Yeah, I don't think he got drafted here, so that's the only thing. But still a good player. I like the talent. Cody Schrader, not a pass catching running back, not great metrics overall, so just kind of tough for me to want to take him. And then Eric All, he was injured most, if not all, of last season, but he's out of Iowa, and those tight ends typically produce, and he seems to be pretty good. He just had a lot of injuries, so this is a guy that I think will sleep, and I'll call it now. He's going to be producing in the league at some point. So Adonai Mitchell goes to team 11. Braylon Allen, Malachi Corley, Theo Johnson, Sam Hartman. So A.D. Mitchell out of Texas. Here they've got him going to the Bengals. So that's see you, T. Higgins. Bye. They've got a similar size. T. Higgins a little taller, but Mitchell's faster, and you got Joe Burrow throwing the ball. So not much else to say there.
Speed.
Braylon Allen.
Yep, you need speed.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be hard to guard, right? With Chase on the other side.
Right.
Yeah, Malachi Corley, or yeah, Braylon Allen missed here. Buccaneers. I like Rachaad White. He had the most, I think, opportunities in the league amongst running backs. So he by pure volume has more points than other players. Maybe if they have actual running back too, something happens. Like I think you and I know the names of the running back too that was on the team, but they didn't do anything, right? It was Chase Edmonds, it was Sean Tucker. They didn't do anything. So
yeah, right. I thought Sean Tucker would have a better season. Maybe he comes out this year and is ready.
Yeah. So maybe Allen gets an opportunity, but that would be a little tough because he wouldn't be getting the pass catches anyway. He doesn't have great hands. But he's the youngest running back and the biggest running back. He can definitely be a goal line back. I think he could just eat up some stuff there and down in the middle. So and we'll try to move on. Malachi Corley. Let's see. He went to the Jaguars, so they recently signed Gabe Davis after letting go of Calvin Ridley. Well, we'll see how that shakes out. Maybe he'll end up as the number 2 at some point. Theo Johnson had, Theo Johnson had the number 1.
Not the rookie, but Gabe Davis. He's just a Jag. He's just a boom guy. You can't even risk.
Just a guy for those that don't know.
Yeah, you can't play Gabe Davis.
Yeah, so I can see. Yeah, and Corley's he's got some yak ability. So yeah, I could totally see him just being an option for Trevor Lawrence to get the ball out quick to. Theo Johnson, he's the number 1 tight end in relative athletic score. So sometimes you just need to get an athletic tight end. I think the Bucs took him in this draft, so they don't want to pay K. Dot in that extension that he'd be due next season. So they just go with Theo Johnson because they're already paying these receivers, and and really the future of the Bucks beyond Baker. Who knows? But you don't want to invest in Cade Otton when you just paid Baker a bunch of money and Mike Evans. So, and the final team
Right.
here: Troy Franklin, Jatavian Sanders. We got Ray Davis, Jamari Thrash, and Devin Leary. So Troy Franklin, we talked about him a ton. We really like him. Jatavian Sanders, he was a bit of a follower at the combine just because he's a little bit slower, but still, he had great hands whenever I watched him at Texas. Always was relied upon. He ended up being a lot of games the number one target, number one receiver for that team. So he's a lot of
Right.
production too behind his stats, and he still had above an 8 relative athletic score. I like him. Ray Davis is a good thumper back. He's a little bit older, but he can be just one of those goal line backs and get the job done that way. I don't think Jamari Thrash got drafted here, but we'll see what happens. Could be a sleeper. Yeah, so that's it. Who do you think had the best team? I'm going to just put it on full screen here
I
for
like.
us.
Yeah, I was looking. Let me see here. You was talking. What? It was a team earlier that you. I would go with IMCM, the Drake
All
May,
right.
Benson, right? Yeah, the San Francisco. I like that team. I like the 2 running backs that he got. He's squeezing one of those running backs. I believe if they go to the right team, they could be really good. I compared Benson to what was the guy out of Miami? They played for the
Miami
Colts.
University.
Edwin James.
Oh,
Edrin
Edgerrin James.
James.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he reminds me of Edrin James, and Wright reminds me of Chris Johnson. I'm not saying he's Chris Johnson, but he's so fast, and he's only 210 pounds. So I like the upside with the running backs. And then you got Drake May, and you only got him at the 1.7. I think taking Drake May at the 1.7 is good value. You didn't overdraft
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I like that pick. And the interesting thing is, in the draft class where wide receivers are kind of dominating, he really didn't take one till late, but came away with a really good draft just because of how the values fell.
Right.
And yeah, so let me just see. So Jalen Wright, he went to the Cardinals. You think he can take over for James Conner, who's getting a little bit older?
Not take over, but get a workload. I think he can get a workload.
And then I know you're high on Trey Benson. Does he take over for Ramondre Stevenson? That's where he ends up going in the
I
draft
know, man.
to the Patriots.
That's why I didn't draft him. I want to draft him. I can't draft a New England running back. I can't do it, man. If he go to New England, he's just gonna be another guy, man.
Yeah,
Antonio Gibson is already there. I don't believe that's tough to say he's going there. They already got Antonio Gibson. They paid him a free agent deal, and then they got Ramondre. That's
yeah,
tough.
that's a tough one. Let me see. I definitely like that team just because of how Drake May fell. I think any of those top 3 quarterbacks, I kind of have my eyes set on. Even if Jaden Daniels goes to the Patriots, I might be more worried about him there, but it's just hard to pass on these quarterbacks in these super flex leagues. But
Right.
we have seen that the hit rate is still closer to 40% or 30% for some of these first round dynasty rookie draft quarterbacks. So when I'm in your leagues and I see people going high on the skill positions, I get it because there's a bust rate, especially with these rookie quarterbacks. In
Right.
the startup, I would prefer the established quarterbacks, but in some of these rookie drafts, it doesn't. I'm not knocking anyone for taking a Malik Neighbors over some of these guys. If you really think he's got that talent, Worthy with the Chiefs. I
Right.
mean, it's tough. The Jaden Daniels rushing ability is why I would still have him at that
Does
3
he
spot.
start though? Do you
What does
think
he
he's going to
start?
start?
Jaden
You think he's
Daniels
going
or
to
who?
start? Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels and this goes to the Washington Commanders. He's starting for sure. Who they going to start? Jacoby Brissett, I think, is their quarterback.
Yes. I don't. I think it's Jacoby Brissett. I don't think they got rid of Jacoby. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to start from day
Okay.
one with his running ability as a smaller guy. I think they want to teach him to. And they got Cliff. He could. Man, they got Cliff. You could be right. I just didn't want to go. Only
Yeah.
person that I was taking is Caleb Williams as a quarterback. Other than that, I wanted
Okay.
to go and get me a skill player. I thought Xavier Worthy on the Chiefs, that automatically puts you with that type of speed. I just got to think of Tyreek Hill. I thought of Tyreek Hill. But as a quarterback, the value was better to get Jaden Daniels. But look at even with CJ Stroud. When did CJ Stroud be a top 5 quarterback? It took him middle of the season before he started actually being a top 5 quarterback?
Yeah, but that's where I disagree because it's dynasty. Year one, it doesn't matter to me. If you can get to where you need to be in that second year, I'm feeling pretty good about year one matters actually statistically from a hit rate perspective. You want to do something. CJ Stroud hitting in the second half, that's fine. Jonathan Taylor years ago hitting in the second half of that season where everyone hated him at the beginning of the season, that's fine. As long as you get there by the end of the season, I'm good with it. And that quarterback, if they hit, that's a good hit because Stroud or Marvin Harrison, which of those players do you want?
Right.
I would still take Stroud in that spot, but not all these guys are going to have the best rookie quarterback season of all time. Maybe Caleb does. I do agree there's a bust potential with Jaden Daniels and Drake May at the New England is scary spot.
Right. You're right. I compare Xavier Worthy to Deshaun Jackson. Would you want Deshaun Jackson, or would you take? Who would I say? I would try to compare Jaden Daniels as taking him for the Washington Commanders.
RG3.
Yeah, maybe RG3. Maybe
because of the light body frame.
Right. Yeah, RG3 had a strong arm too. I think his arm was a little bit stronger than Jaden, but you're right.
Yeah. Deshaun Jackson, for those that don't know, he has some of the highest points per game in some of those boom games. This was a guy who continued to get jobs as a 34-year-old in the league, close to retirement just because of that speed. And even some of those later seasons, he would break off a long one. So we were talking about those boom players. So no, this is a good draft. I think I don't know. I probably still may lean that IMKC team. I'm just so shocked that I'm not going with some of these receiver teams. But it's if you didn't get some of these top 4 receivers, at that point,
right. And you could say Malik Neighbors, but his growing pains are going to be tougher than Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy got to come out there and he ain't got to worry about no double coverage or anything. But that don't mean that. It just depends. If I needed a quarterback and I don't have a quarterback on my team, I'm definitely taking Jaden Daniels there. But if I'm trying to get a player to plug in and win, I don't think you can get a better player than Xavier Worthy. But I don't think he was chalk at all. I think I reached for him. I think I did reach for him, but I
love it.
Right, but I still like Xavier Worthy playing as on the Kansas City Chiefs, man, at a 4-3. He's better. Don't you believe that he's better than McCole Hardman?
Yeah, for sure. And
look what McCole
the fact
Hardman
that they brought back McCole Hardman means that they need that player, and now McCole Hardman's gone again. I think.
Right. And what do you believe? So look how McCole Hardman did. McCole Hardman wasn't bad there. I believe Xavier Worthy could be a lot better there.
Timothy says, where do you see Worthy going in the NFL draft? I could see. So in this draft, they trade up to get him. If there's no trade up, I think the Cowboys are ahead of the Chiefs, and they have a CeeDee Lamb, and they just need someone to stretch the field. I see Cowboys taking them. It's a Texas player, so I can see them trying to keep a Texas player in Texas. That's what I think. How about you, TD?
I see the Bills.
Okay,
I think of teams that need speed demons. I see the Bills. I could see the Bengals. I could see listen, with his speed, bro, he could go top 12. I mean, that speed. I'm not saying he's Waddle, but why wouldn't they treat him as like a Waddle? Those speed guys that went early in the draft. Why wouldn't they treat him as that?
Yeah. And I'm pulling up the draft position for the real draft to help answer Timothy's question. And he's going to go in the later area. I don't think don't forget there's other good defensive players too. I'll pull down the comment. So yeah, if y'all can see this. All right, we got a TD in here. So let me scroll up a little. So Cincinnati at 18. That could be a spot. I don't think the Rams do it, but maybe they try to replace Puka. They really liked having DeMarcus Robinson as that other threat in offense.
They do.
Miami Dolphins love speed. Philly, no. I think they just signed some receiver,
I don't think they get an offensive lineman or somebody. I don't think they need defense.
And then Minnesota has the 23rd pick. They're not going to do it. I see it being Dallas, not Green Bay. I don't think it's Tampa Bay. So it could maybe Cardinals double dip. But I like that Bills call.
Right. They better not let them fall into Kansas City. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Someone take them.
Somebody take them. Right.